Now on CoastTV News.
We have a yellow alert today for excessive heat all across Delmarva, and that's in effect for the entire region. I'll tell you how hot it gets and how long it lasts coming up next.
Heads up drivers, school's back in session and it's time to amp up your road safety.
Early voting begins. We have what you need to know if you plan on going to the polls for Delaware's primary election.
Muting the music, that's what one Lewis brewery did. We'll look at a hearing tonight that they hope will let the tunes play once again.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning. I'm Paige Marley. It's Wednesday, August 28th, 2024.
Yeah, we're working on a Wednesday, getting ready for that final summer rush. People making their way to our coast for Labor Day weekend.
Yes, I remember the first time I moved here and I invited all my friends up for Labor Day, and that was a terrible mistake.
Bad idea?
Bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you don't live, if you're not staying real close to the beach,
yeah,
good luck.
If you're driving, lots of traffic.
Good luck.
Probably the last big traffic weekend of the calendar year.
Maybe until
Seawitch, right.
We're on the same page here. We're connected, All right, let's bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahy now, though. Bob, it's hot today, but it's going to be a little weird around the holiday weekend, right?
Weird in that it will be a little wet, but it will be cooler, and it's a one-day heat wave. We have a yellow alert today, usually reserved for storms, wind, and rain, but this time it's for the heat, and even the air quality is not so great either. So if you suffer from respiratory problems, try to stay inside in the cool air. Heat advisory away from the coast for Delaware, back into Maryland, around Salisbury, and then for the eastern shore as well, right through this afternoon and this evening. Already temperatures pretty mild out there in the 60s and 70s with a southwesterly breeze. A little bit of cloudiness moving through, but we're looking at a lot of sunshine, sinking air with high pressure, and that means we're looking at very hot conditions as we go through time. Let's walk you through it on Futurecast. 70s quickly warming to the 80s by mid-morning, and then by noon into the upper 80s and lower 90s, even 80s at the beaches. When you see that, you know it's hot inland too. So 80s at the coast, and then mid-90s eventually as we go into this afternoon, very hot into this evening. And then you factor in the humidity, feeling like triple digits. If you are out there, have the sunscreen. It's very high on the UV scale today. It's an 8. Burn time is 15 minutes. And it's just one more day of very high readings, and then they fall into the high and then medium range as we go into the weekend with more clouds. So just stay safe in the sun and the heat for today.
Will do, Bob. Thank you. According to DelDOT, there have been 85 road-related deaths this year in Delaware. It is a 6% decrease from this time last year, but while road safety is important anytime, it's even more important to be extra cautious now that school is back in session.
Yeah, and Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber live in Milford. Elisa, you learned some scary stats from DelDOT about school bus accidents last year.
Yeah, Matt and Paige, I spoke with DelDOT, who says that last year there were 214 school bus crashes, and that was actually 33% higher than in 2022. And right now I'm standing in front of Milford High School, and the Milford School District is back in session today, which means more students will be walking around and more school buses will be on the roads. DelDOT says that they are actually seeing more pedestrian crashes this time of year than they were last year. And during the school year, it's not the only time when drivers need to be cautious, but anytime they sit behind the wheel, they need to be alert. DelDOT says when you see that big yellow bus stop, you need to also.
It takes a split second for a child to cross in front of a bus, thinking that, hey, everyone sees the lights, it's okay for me to cross. And, that could be a real tragedy because someone is impatient. So, again, it's just that time of year where it's good to be reminded of what those rules are and to put safety first.
DelDOT says that even if a light tells you you're good to cross the street or you're standing in a crosswalk, always double check to make sure it is safe because you can't assume that a driver is paying attention. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Elisa. Happening tonight, we look to get some clarity on that situation with the Big Oyster Brewery in Lewis and the dispute over the ability to play live music. It was earlier this month, Big Oyster announced it was canceling live music acts when the management there learned about a complaint submitted to the Delaware Alcoholic Beverage Control Commissioner. It was about the music being loud enough to be heard and distracting in neighboring housing developments. All this will be addressed during a virtual hearing scheduled by the DABCC. Again, that will be tonight at 5.
A second dune breach at Northside Beach near the Indian River Inlet has one group demanding action. The Delaware chapter of the Surfrider Foundation is urging DelDOT, DenRec, and Delaware Seashore State Park to hold a public meeting this month citing the dangerous conditions in the area. Surfrider says efforts to protect Route 1 with large rocks has backfired, making the situation worse and putting public safety and tourism at risk. The group is asking the public meeting be held near the Indian River Inlet and held virtually.
Happening today, the start of early voting in Delaware. This is for the state's primary election next month. You can vote today through Saturday the 31st, as well as on September 3rd. Times for that, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then from September 4th through the 8th, the polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We do have a list of early voting sites and also key races on CoastTV.com.
Planning for a new Georgetown police building has been put on hold until October. Monday night, the Georgetown Town Council had a public hearing to discuss plans for a new police department building that proposed to sit on University Drive. But some people say it shouldn't go in a part of town where only about 1% of people live. But others, like the police chief, say that location is ideal for a number of reasons.
Having a building there would be good for that area that we get called to extensively. Not to say that one little area we get called more than every other place in town. But one, the people that are actually working out of the building, the admin, the detectives and all that, could respond to anything out there.
And that topic will be discussed again at the first town council meeting in October. The presentation shown at that meeting is linked on the article on our website, CoastTV.com.
All right, check this out. At least 2 firefighters were injured after a massive fire broke out at a restaurant. This is South Carolina on Tuesday. Just an incredible scene there. Thick black smoke could be seen for miles. Police say the House of Pizza restaurant was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived on the scene. And the cause of that fire is yet to be determined.
New rules in Sussex County are changing the construction timeline for future housing developments. County Council adopted a perimeter buffer ordinance. It promotes the use of existing woodlands as buffers, and it sets rules for tree removal and replacement. The county code will require buffers to be installed before homes are built. That ordinance takes effect February 2025.
Some help coming in the form of taxpayer money to the Chesapeake Bay watershed. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, they announced 30 grants set up to help restore and conserve habitats there. Nearly $9 million going towards projects for conservation and water quality improvements. The agency says more than 10,000 acres of habitat will be conserved. Recreational access to 2,000 acres will be increased. One recipient is the Eastern Shore Land Conservancy.
Despite a controversial hire, even a lawsuit, Rehoboth Beach is spotlighting its city manager Taylor Tedder with a new monthly video series called Tedder Talks. The first episode focused on the Rehoboth Beach Patrol. City officials say Tedder will speak with staff and community members about programs and issues that impact the city. This all comes as 2 Rehoboth Beach homeowners are suing the city over Tedder's hiring, claiming it was against city charter.
Both political party candidates still on the campaign trail after an eventful day on Tuesday. Donald Trump being hit with a new indictment. It's related to the 2020 election.
The Department of Justice charging him with a revised package, this time just changing up some of the wording. NBC's Alice Barr shows us what the department is alleging and how Trump is responding.
This morning, a new effort to hold former President Trump criminally responsible for trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election, culminating in the January 6 Capitol attack. In a revised indictment, the Department of Justice charging Mr. Trump with the same 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruct an official proceeding, but stripping out references to certain official acts to comply with last month's Supreme Court decision that found former presidents are immune from prosecution for much of their official conduct while in office. Former President Trump slamming the new superseding indictment as persecution of a political opponent. He's long contended former presidents need absolute immunity to protect their power to act.
You're not going to do anything if you don't have immunity, because otherwise you're going to be prosecuted after you leave office.
In the new document, Special Counsel Jack Smith strikes some conduct the Supreme Court said was off limits, including the former president leaning on his Justice Department to support false claims of a rigged election. But it retains allegations about pressuring former Vice President Mike Pence into not certifying the election results.
What's added is lots and lots of language saying that Pence acted as either a candidate or as president of the Senate. In other words, not as an official piece of action. And that Trump was acting also in an unofficial way.
It all comes as the former president's re-election bid hits a critical stretch, campaigning in Wisconsin tomorrow as his rival, Vice President Harris, and running mate Governor Tim Walz kick off a bus tour in Georgia today. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
All right, we're just getting started this hour of Coast TV News today.
Coming up, gas station going bigger. The construction has already been approved. We look at change to plans there in Lewis.
Also ahead, short-term rental regulations. We're going to tell you the new steps for new rules being proposed in Ocean City.
And according to one financial agency, many 401k accounts are now worth over $1 million. We look at the yearly trend of this retirement investment. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Enjoy some family time with America's pastime at the Delmarva Shorebirds. When you're here, everything inside is fair ball. Your favorite treats, craft beers, fireworks every Saturday, and the best giveaways. Tickets start at just $15 to see the O Stars of Tomorrow on Delmarva today. Save time. Buy tickets online at theshorebirds.com.
Positive, focused,
supportive, and goal-oriented. These are just a few qualities of coaches who inspire their athletes.
Each month, the Preston Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and make a $500 donation to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an extra donation to their program.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
Delmarva Sports Network, coach who makes a difference. Brought to you by Preston Automotive Group.
As a fellow veteran and family-owned business, Morse Roofing and Siding loves to give back to those that have served for the freedoms of this country.
Dear Lieutenant Colonel Richard Marks, thank you for your service. In honor of your 20-plus years in the U.S. Air Force, we would like to give you, as our gift, this new CertainTeed roofing system at no cost to you.
And right now, we would like to give a free CertainTeed upgrade to any military veteran between now and December the 31st.
There's good.
There's better.
And then there's Morse.
In Delaware, a family earning $67,000 a year pays the same tax rate as one making $67 million. I'm Matt Meyer, and you don't have to be a former math teacher to know that's an outrage. As governor, I'll make the super wealthy pay more in taxes so working people can pay less. By making state taxes more fair, we'll help more families get ahead. It's not just smart math, it's the right thing to do.
Democrat Matt Meyer for governor.
It is 6:13 on this Wednesday morning. Sun's up at 6:27, and Tinsel's Casual Furniture Cam showing the skies taking on that red color. It is a little hazy, but not foggy like yesterday morning. Out the door, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We've got a southwest breeze, and that's setting us up for a hot day ahead. Just some clouds moving through, but we'll see lots of sunshine today, sinking air with high pressure, and that means a very hot day. But it's only one day that it will be really hot, then it does start to cool down. Here's our golf forecast. I put it in the fair range today on purpose because it is so hot. Really not a good day for outdoor activities. It's a better day to stay inside in air conditioning. 96. Make sure you have a lot of water wherever you go, and maybe an extra change of clothes because it will be a hot one.
Delaware Department of Transportation has announced that the Transportation Investment Fund, TIF, has awarded 29 grants totaling $51 million. And DelDOT says the grants have also helped create 9,500 jobs so far. And this money goes to help infrastructure for new or developing businesses. So if you're considering applying for a TIF grant for your business, the deadline is fast approaching. It'll be on September 3rd. Drivers in Laurel, heads up for you. A road closure is coming. DelDOT closing down Taylor Mill Road. This will be for about a week. It starts next Thursday, September 5th. That road will be closed between Fire Tower Road and West Elliott's Dam Road. DelDOT says crossroad pipes are being replaced. That road is scheduled to reopen on September 13th.
The number of so-called 401k millionaires hit a new record high in the second quarter. That's according to Fidelity Investments. As of June, nearly 500,000 401k accounts had balances of $1 million or more. But the average 401k balance across all participants, that's a lot lower. It's about $127,000. The average, however, that's still up about 13% from this time last year. There was no jackpot winner for Tuesday's Mega Millions drawing, so that means the jackpot for Friday night's going to grow to an estimated $627 million. No one's won the big prize since back on June 4th. In fact, only 2 people have won the Mega Millions this entire year. Still ahead this morning, Ocean City rental regulations. What new rules are being proposed in the beach town now that one visitor thinks would be a positive addition?
A beautiful start to the day on Delaware Bay. These sailboats probably getting a workout later on. A great day to be on the water, near the water. It's a yellow alert day for excessive heat. Just one day, and then we do start to cool down with increasing showers and an unsettled holiday weekend. Not a washout. Details in 2 minutes.
We're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
This is to you, Toby.
Toby Keith's closest friends celebrate an American icon. Toby Keith, American Icon, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Hello. Now that you've heard the rest, you can hear the best. We can be with the S and have this on your chest.
Snoop joins The Voice Monday, September 23rd. Set your DVR now.
Got a plumbing problem that can't wait? Then why would you? At FH Fur, we know how frustrating it is to be stuck waiting for help, which is why we offer same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's a leaky faucet, a clogged drain, a broken pipe, you name it. The expert plumbers at FH Fur are standing by and ready to get you out of hot water. Or maybe into some hot water, if that's your issue. Same-day service guaranteed, regardless of your plumbing predicament.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
When you're close to the land and the sea, you can taste the goodness. The historic Lewis Farmers Market brings farms closer to tables. Meet the growers, talk to the people that milk the cows, and pick the perfect peaches. Organically grown fruits and vegetables, sustainable meats and eggs, A2 dairy products, artisan breads, and fresh local seafood.
The historic Lewis Farmers Market is in the park every Saturday from 8 to noon and at Crooked Hammock Brewery every Wednesday from 8 to 11:30 a.m.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Everyone knows kids are messy, especially in the summertime. Back to school. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Time is 6:18, and we are giving you a live look now at Ocean City. Calm conditions there, waiting for the sunrise. And if you are just joining us, we are operating under a yellow alert weather day, but this alert, Bob, it's not for rain.
No, this time, Matt, it is for heat. Usually it is reserved for rain, storms, that nature of weather, but we're talking about the heat, so we wanted to issue a yellow alert for the heat. And the air quality is not so great either. Usually on these really hot days, the ozone levels are higher. It's just best to stay in filtered air and air conditioning, especially if you suffer from respiratory problems. As we have a heat advisory away from the coastal areas today, Sussex County back into Kent County, also farther south into Maryland, Salisbury, even Ocean Pines. But along the immediate coast, you do not have that heat advisory. Eastern Shore under that heat advisory, because we're looking at feels like temperatures later on in the triple digits. Actual temperature right around 96 inland areas, 80s at the beaches, and then a sharp cool down tomorrow and Friday into the lower 80s, so that'll be nice. So it's just a one-day heat wave, and then by the holiday weekend we're back into the mid 80s both Saturday and Sunday, and feeling kind of muggy as well. You can see that on the muggy meter. We're in the humid range the next couple of days, and then very humid as we go into the weekend. But then a sharp downturn in the humidity by early next week as we see a couple of cold fronts come through. That will dry us out and cool us off into next week. Temperature-wise, out the door already, 73 in Millsboro, Milton 71, and Seaford right now at 72 degrees. We have a southwesterly wind, so that wind is mixing things up a little bit. We had all that fog yesterday morning, not so this morning, but a little bit of cloudiness floating through. Otherwise, it's dry, and we've got the hot weather building in with high pressure and sinking air, and we've got a trough to the west. That could trigger a shower later this afternoon, but it's a front across the Midwest that will move in tonight, and that could certainly give us a better chance of storms through the overnight hours. Let's walk you through it on Futurecast. Warming up quickly this morning, already into the 80s by mid-morning, and by noon, upper 80s and lower 90s inland, and even 80s at the beaches, and very hot by 3 o'clock, around 95 in Millsboro, Seaford 95, 96 in Salisbury, and 70s and 80s at the beaches, and we're looking at a very hot evening on the way. Then we're watching a cold front that will trigger some showers and storms later this evening, especially northern Sussex County and Kent County. Could pack a little bit of a punch, some small hail and gusty winds. Otherwise, it's cooler weather tomorrow as the winds turn to the east. And look at this, by afternoon, instead of 90s, we're in the 70s and 80s, so much more comfortable as we go into your Thursday. But there is that threat for severe weather tonight, a level 1 and level 2 risk, so a low to slight risk of seeing severe weather. This could be a little overdone, but just be aware of that as we go through the overnight. And then Friday, we see some showers. We'll be a little unsettled into the holiday weekend, still some showers into Sunday. And then we do clear it out finally on Monday, Labor Day. So part of the holiday weekend is looking pretty good. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 96 today. Stay inside if you can, and then it does cool down Thursday and Friday, hit and miss showers. Some storms Friday, and then mid-80s, a little warmer Saturday and Sunday. Still some showers and storms, and then drier on Labor Day, 82, then back into the upper 70s by Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Bob. We do have some developing news out of Ocean City. Officials there are looking to tack on more regulations to short-term rentals, including having the minimum length of stay be at least 7 days. These would be short-term rentals at our single-family homes and manufactured housing. Another potential rule is regulating how many people can stay in short-term rentals. Council hopes it will decrease noise in the town, and we went to Ocean City to learn what people there think about this. And one woman we spoke to agrees with what is being proposed.
Downtown, with all the bars and stuff, they get rowdy at night, like about midnight or something like that.
Ocean City Council will be sending these proposed regulations to the Planning Commission for review. This does bring us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know what you think is the best minimum stay requirement for short-term rentals.
All right, we've had a little bit of switch up here in the last hour or so. 47% of you saying 3 days. That's still the majority of voters there. 38% of you, no minimum. So close race. Just 2% of you, that hasn't changed, say 5. 13% say 7 days. So got a couple options there. Go to coasttv.com or the mobile app to vote. And yeah, we'll keep you updated throughout the day. But still ahead on Coast TV News today, gas station going forward. We're talking the latest change to a gas station set to be built in Lewis. Don't go anywhere.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, somewhere to smile about. Join the Harry K Foundation for the Fashion for Charity Girls Night Out October 16th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Shellville Village in Rehoboth Beach. Indulge in cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, a fashion show, and shopping on this evening of fashion, food, friends, and philanthropy. Tickets are $48 with benefits going to the Harry K Foundation, working to defeat childhood hunger throughout Delaware. For tickets and info, visit harrykfoundation.org. Sponsored by Coast TV. Delaware. The opioid crisis affects us all. Deadly drugs like fentanyl put our community at risk. But there is hope. Youth programs like the Boys and Girls Clubs and community Narcan training are saving lives. Parents, teachers, and mentors, it's vital to have honest conversations about substance use and promote healthy activities. By fostering positive habits, we can build a stronger, healthier community together. Together, we can save lives.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped me get to the first day at my career, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from my service helped me buy my first home. And I take pride knowing I will be the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
To learn more, visit nationalguard.com/DC.
You like to keep your beard perfectly groomed, but she hates all that mess. Now there's VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the total body shaver that trims your hair and vacuums it up. VacuTrim stainless steel blades give you a precision cut, while the built-in vacuum captures the hair shavings. It has 20 trim settings to shape your beard and tame body hair with no mess. Get VacuTrim with free shipping for only $39.95.
Call 1-800-263-0608. That's 1-800-263-0608 or go to vacutrim.com.
A new gas station scheduled to be built over on Route 24 and Mulberry Knoll Road in Lewis. It's already been approved. Now, after an approval from Sussex County Council, though, it's going to get bigger. This latest change will increase the property size from 5,000 square feet to just under 6,000 square feet. One person in Lewis we spoke with says this could be a beneficial addition to the highway.
If you're traveling through, or if you've got a family, any place you need to pull over, use the bathroom, get something to eat. It comes to traffic with the convenience store, but it also has some upside as well.
The ordinance will also eliminate a 12,000 square foot office building nearby. This vote was passed unanimously at the meeting Tuesday afternoon.
And we're joined again by First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. And even on the beaches today, Bob, looking at it, it looks like we're going to feel that heat.
Oh, absolutely. There's a little bit of escape from the heat on the beaches, but even there, with the humidity feeling like low to mid 90s, actual temperature still pretty toasty for the beaches. Chincoteague 84 today, around 83 in Assateague. Make sure you have the sunscreen handy. And then farther up the beach, we're looking at Fenwick Island and Ocean City, also into the mid 80s, Ocean City, maybe upper 80s in Fenwick Island. On the bay side, the next 3 days, today's the hot day, obviously in Cambridge, 96, and then lower 80s with some showers Thursday and Friday, and then it does cool down in Crisfield as well as we head into the holiday weekend, looking a little unsettled. I'll have more on that coming up in the next half hour.
Bob, thank you so much. Also coming up after this break, police station put on pause. We're telling you about the debate over the location of the new building and why officials say that spot is ideal.
DelDOT School Safety will give you the dangerous statistics the agency is using to emphasize the importance of road safety all year long.
And we're operating under a yellow alert day for the high heat today. We're going to give you some ways to stay cool as summer ends with a bang. CoastTV News.
You're not going to want to miss this.
Jeopardy, like the Everest of trivia.
Spit and truth therapy.
You gotta feel smart if you wanna look smart. Be smart, think smart, talk smart, eat smart. You are smart, smarty pants.
What is Equus?
Nitroglycerin. Avignon.
Hyperglycemia. You got revenge on that category.
I sure did.
You got to unleash the power.
Woo!
That's the path to Jeopardy success.
You know, I like that, yeah.
Yes.
New episodes September 9th on CoastTV.
Your wallet is always in danger. Criminals can hack your information without you even knowing. Introducing Slim Mint, an ultra-thin RFID blocking wallet that keeps your cards and cash protected. Slim Mint uses the latest RFID blocking technology to prevent thieves from stealing your info. It's ergonomically designed to optimize space and keep your belongings organized. With the auto-locking Slim Mint, your cards and money stay securely in place. It has a built-in cash clip and a flexible outer band to fit your additional cards and cash. Call or click now and get Slim Mint for just $29.99. Order in the next 5 minutes and you'll get an instant $10 discount. So it's only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get Slim Mint at this low price. There's a strict limit of 3 Slim Mint wallets while supplies last. Don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-613-4296. Call or visit slimmintwallet.com. So call 1-800-613-4296 now.
Hi, Chef Daniel Greenhead with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
Now on CoastTV News.
We have a yellow alert day for excessive heat. Heat advisories all across Delmarva today. I'll tell you how hot it gets and how long it lasts coming up next.
Heads up drivers, school's back in session and it's time to amp up your road safety.
Early voting begins. We have what you need to know if you plan on going to the polls for Delaware's primary election.
New development directives, the policy on buffers for future housing developments in Sussex County.
This is CoastTV News Today.
August 28th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
Yeah, time is 6:30 on this Wednesday morning. Yesterday, I was out on Coastal Highway. Not too bad traffic-wise for the summer season, but I think start to see that change as we get closer to the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. This is kind of like that tease, right? You're like, oh, traffic's dying down, and then this weekend, it hits you.
Yep.
It's going to be
back
hitting us
into
all.
full force, probably one more time.
Probably.
For the summer season.
That's what we're thinking. Yeah, don't quote us on that. Don't hold that to us, but that's our guess. So let's bring in first alert meteorologist Bob Trahey now, though. Bob, traffic's going to feel like summer again. Well, I know we're still in summer, but you know what I mean. But so is this weather. It is hot today.
It is hot today, kind of the last gasp of summer for sure, Paige. But the good news is one last hot day, or one day heat wave, as we do have a yellow alert this time for the excessive heat. Heat advisories now in place away from the coast, Sussex County up to Kent County, also into Dorchester, Somerset, Wycomico, Worcester counties, excluding the coast. And then for the eastern shore as well, you are going to have, it feels like temperatures in the triple digits throughout the day, and we're already pretty mild 60s, and most of us are in the low to mid 70s right now. A bit of a southwest breeze that is mixing up the atmosphere a little bit, so we're not dealing with the fog this morning like we did yesterday. A little bit of cloudiness moving through, but we will get into that sunshine and very hot conditions as we go through the day, as temperatures quickly are into the 80s mid-morning, and then by noon 80s and lower 90s and mid 90s this afternoon, firmly inland, and then 70s and 80s at the coast, and very hot as we go into this evening. It's the checklist time. Don't need the rain gear. You want to stay in AC if you can today with lots of water. Really want to stay hydrated. Wear the light colored clothing. Also, air quality not that great, so stay inside if you can. Make sure you have the sunscreen and sunglasses as well.
Thank you. Now, as he just mentioned, still a few weeks left of summer. The season going out scorching hot. Temperatures are reaching record highs in several U.S. cities this week. Tens of millions are under some sort of heat advisory. Some people, they're getting outside earlier. Maybe they're taking to the pools to avoid that oppressive heat.
This year, there have been 85 road-related deaths in Delaware. We're getting that from DelDOT, and this is a 6% drop compared to 2023 this time of year. We do have an extra focus on road safety with the start of school on Delmarva.
Definitely. CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber is live right now in Milford. Elisa, you've learned some very scary statistics from DelDOT about school bus accidents last school year.
Yeah, Matt and Paige, I spoke with DelDOT, who says that last year there were 214 school bus crashes, and that was actually 33% higher than in 2022. And right now I'm standing in front of a Milford High School, and the Milford School District is back in session today, which means more students will be walking around and more school buses will be on the roads. And during the school year is not the only time when drivers need to pay attention. Anytime they sit behind the wheel, they need to be alert. DelDOT says when you see that big yellow bus, you need to stop. And DelDOT also says even though a light will tell you that it's safe to cross, or you are standing in a crosswalk, you should always double check before you cross the street to make sure that it is safe, because you can't trust that drivers are paying attention.
Now, of course, we are starting to see that school activity on our roads and our streets. Even more schools begin after Labor Day.
Yeah, Lisa, DelDOT says even though the number of deaths is down, there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, Matt and Paige, unfortunately that number is down, but unfortunately DelDOT says that they are seeing more pedestrian crashes this time of year than they were last year. Back to you.
Elisa, thank you so much. Desks covered with loads of paper. It's the current scene for many officers at the Georgetown Police Department. The town council held a public hearing Monday to discuss the plans for a new police department building.
Yeah, the department shared a presentation that included photos of their workspace, and Coast TV News reporter Zakia Jennings takes us inside the current police department and what officers are dealing with.
Closing the door of a detention pod at the Georgetown Police Department. A pod that might not even be fit for someone being held in custody. One of the main concerns at Monday's hearing was the requested amount of $18 million. Mayor Bill West says the number sounds scarier than it is.
No, we're doing an appraisal on the property, and we've developed a private-public partnership is what this is about. So we don't have to take any money out of pocket to pay for that. And that's a great opportunity.
The decision to table the conversation was disheartening to some, but for Georgetown Police Chief Ralph Holm, it still gives him hope.
So I get that, and hopefully over these couple weeks from now until first meeting in October, maybe people can ask more questions. We're having informational sessions still and then we'll have another discussion on October and, talk to some people, come up with some alternatives.
This small locker room space is supposed to accommodate 25 officers. And here you can see the conditions of the walls inside. Where I'm standing right now could be a fully equipped police department and public works office in anywhere from just 12 to 18 months. The City Council will pick this topic back up at their first meeting in October. In Georgetown, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
Happening tonight, we look to get some clarity on that situation with the Big Oyster Brewery in Lewis and the dispute over their ability to play live music. It was earlier this month, Big Oyster announced it was canceling live music acts. When the management there learned a complaint was submitted to the Delaware Alcoholic Beverage Control Commissioner. It was about the music being loud enough to be heard and distracting in neighboring housing developments. All this will be addressed during a virtual hearing scheduled by the DABCC. Again, that will be tonight at 5.
A second dune breach at Northside Beach near the Indian River Inlet has one group demanding action. The Delaware chapter of the Surfrider Foundation is urging DelDOT, DenRec, and Delaware Seashore State Park to hold a public meeting this month citing dangerous conditions in that area. Surfrider says efforts to protect Route 1 with large rocks has backfired, making the situation worse and putting public safety and tourism at risk. The group is asking the public meeting be held near the Indian River Inlet and virtually.
Happening today, start of early voting in Delaware. This is for the state's primary election on September 10th, and you can vote early today through Saturday, the 31st, as well as on September 3rd. And again, the times for this are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then from September 4th through the 8th, polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We do have a list of early voting sites on CoastTV.com.
New rules in Sussex County are changing the construction timeline for future housing developments. County Council adopted a perimeter buffer ordinance. This promotes the use of existing woodlands as buffers, and it sets rules for tree removal and replacement. The county code will require buffers to be installed before houses are built. That ordinance takes effect in February 2025.
Got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Still ahead, Ocean City police are moving where one of their speed boards is located. What they say sparked the change and what will happen to its previous spot now that the physical reminder is gone.
Also wasting little time. One of the Nationals' top prospects making an impact in a game also helped out the Orioles.
And plans to protect the Georgetown Circle, the first of many meetings to improve safety in that area after multiple crashes. Stick with us on Coast TV News today.
We salute Logan Faust. Sergeant Logan Faust, a dedicated combat medic in the Delaware National Guard, has exemplified service beyond the call of duty, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Activated by Governor Carney, Sergeant Faust played a crucial role in safeguarding the health of Delaware citizens. He provided vital patient care, conducted virus testing, and administered vaccinations across Newcastle and Sussex counties, notably at AI DuPont Hospital. Currently, he continues to serve as both a recruiter and medic. Sergeant Faust and his wife are joyfully anticipating the arrival of their first child. We salute his ongoing commitment to his state and nation, honoring both his professional and personal dedication.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to CoastTVSalutes.com.
The Shorebird Summer is coming to a close on the Delmarva Sports Network. Watch their last home series live. From the first crack of the bat, to the big plays, to the roar of the crowd. Experience every moment as it happens on the Delmarva Sports Network. Your Delmarva Shorebirds battle the Salem Red Sox tonight at 7. Tune in for these action-packed games live, only on the Delmarva Sports Network.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then, up to 150 pounds of torque knock out out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news, Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-519-7208. That's 1-800-519-7208 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-519-7208 now.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
6:41 on this mild and muggy Wednesday morning. Hershey exteriors cam seeing sun and clouds. Also some kind of debris on the lens there. 71 in Ocean City. It's warming up pretty quickly. It's a warm start and it's going to be a hot day as we have a light southwesterly breeze. At least that's mixing things up. We're not looking at fog this morning. Just a little bit of cloudiness moving through. Otherwise mostly sunny. A very hot day. The good news, it's a one-day heat wave and then we will start to cool down. Here's a golf forecast. We're looking at very hot conditions. Make sure you have that big jug of water and maybe another golf shirt handy. 96 this afternoon, but feeling like triple digits away from the coast. You can also get your forecast on the golf course on the phone. The Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Baird, Mandalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
Lots of damage, also lots of taxpayer dollars. Georgetown Circle has been a point of concern after several car crashes, and now a new Circle committee brainstorming ideas on how the town can stop these accidents from happening. 9 community members are tasked with coming up with a plan to improve safety while maintaining the beauty of the existing circle. It's a landmark that has dotted the Sussex County seat since the early 1790s.
It's the things that make your towns unique that make people want to come to them. And our circle has been a foundation for a long time, so we're going to try to keep that.
We've got to try something to eliminate property damage, personal injury, and keep the circle beautiful.
We start with just 1 or 2 ideas, and by the end we had about 20 different things to look at, which is good, and that's the type of stuff we should be looking at.
And Tuesday marked just the first meeting of this committee. Town is hoping to be presented with recommendations that could help solve this ongoing problem sometime in the next 6 months.
It only took 2 major league games for Dylan Cruz to make his presence known, going 2 for 4 at the plate and helping the Nats defeat the Yankees 4-2 in Game 2 of the series. Let's see how it all went down. In the bottom of the second, no score, 1 on for the Nats, and Cruz sails this pitch from Garrett Cole back to left, and it bounces off the bottom of the wall, and Cruz treks to second for the rookie's first big league double. Jumping to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Nats on the 2-2 pitch to Andres Chaparro. He crushes this fastball to left field. It's gone. The solo shot is his first career home run, 2-0 Nats. An electric inning for Washington. Next batter, first pitch to Jose Tena, showing his power, smashes his second career home run. The Nats hit back-to-back bombs for the second time this season. Nationals up 3-0. Bottom 6, Tim Miza pitching now for New York, and Cruz taps a slow roller, and the throw to first gets away. Cruz advances to second base on the Yankees era, a rough inning for New York defensively, and Cruz wasn't done. He goes for third base, and the ump rules him safe. Another career first for Cruz in this game. Nats lead 4-0. In the 9th, 4-2 Nats now. But Torres flies out to right field, and the Nats hold on, defeating the Yankees 4-2, tying the series at 1. Game 3 decides the series between the Yankees and Nationals tonight at 6:45 p.m. Reporting from Washington, D.C. for the Delmarva Sports Network, I'm Michelle Roberts.
Happy Happy Wednesday, everyone. Here's what's coming up today at 4 on Coast Life.
Maybe you're in need of a new vehicle. Well, we're going to have one to show off for you.
Yes, then we've been talking school starting, but maybe daycare starting as well. If you're nervous, if your kid's nervous, we are talking to the experts about how to help them transition better.
And we know it's hot now, but colder weather is on its way, and we know you're going to be tired of it. So if you're looking for a warm getaway to start planning for, or you know the perfect person to talk to for that as well.
We have all that and more today at 4 on Coast Life.
Looking forward to that on Coast Life. In the meantime, we're starting to see traffic building in Salisbury. Hazy conditions, a mild start. It's going to be a hot day. A yellow alert for excessive heat, but just one day. And then we cool it down with increasing showers and an unsettled Labor Day holiday weekend. All your forecast details in 2 minutes.
Delmarva's Rock Station, 93.5, The Beach.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, 4.
Right now, get a new 4Runner with 4.99 APR financing for 60 months. Or check out the legendary new 24 Land Cruiser.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Your backyard is a haven for cherishing moments with those around you. That's why at Coastal Fence Company, we're not just about fencing your yard. We create an oasis to capture those memories. We provide years of expertise in fencing, decking, and patio installations, offering a diverse selection of high-quality materials that suit your style. Our products are built to withstand the elements, maintaining beauty and functionality for your backyard, with financing options available to fit your needs. Call us today or visit coastalfencecompany.net for a free estimate.
Our mission here at the Boardwalk Buddy Walk is simple: to create a community where people with Down syndrome or any other cognitive disorder can live, learn, work, and play. That's why every October, we invite family and friends to a full weekend of acceptance and inclusion in Rehoboth Beach. This year's event takes place on October 12th at 9 a.m. at the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk and Bandstand. So come out to this year's Boardwalk Buddy Walk and Walk. For more info, go to boardwalkbuddywalk.com, sponsored by CoastTV.
877-CALL-FUR, FHFur.com.
Feeling the summer sizzle? Is it turning your home into a sauna? At FH Fur, we know you can't wait when your AC is down for the count. That's why we're offering same-day service, guaranteed. If we don't make it to you the very same day, you will pay a diagnostic or dispatch fee, plain and simple. So whether your AC is blowing hot air, your thermostat is on the fritz, or your entire system needs replacing, an FH Fur expert technician will bring your comfort back today.
877-CALL-FUR, FHFur.com.
It's now 6:47 on your Wednesday. We are taking a live look at Lewis right there. The sun is up, and we know, Bob, it is bringing some heat with it.
Yeah, that sun just looks like it's ready to roast us today, and it will be, Paige. It's going to be a hot day, but it's just a one-day heat wave. It's that yellow alert, not for any storminess during the day, but for the excessive heat. So if you can stay inside and air conditioning, that's ideal. If you're outside, well, take breaks and drink a lot of water. Heat advisory away from the coast, Delaware, Sussex County, up to Kent County, points north. Also farther to the south, Dorchester, Somerset, Wycomico, and Worcester counties. This is until 8 o'clock this evening. Then for the eastern shore as well, you are looking at triple-digit heat index values. But as I mentioned, it's only one day of the excessive heat. 96 today, then it cools down to 81 on Thursday with an onshore wind, 80 Friday, and then warming up into the mid-80s for the weekend with some hit-and-miss showers. And we're dealing with the humidity for a few days. Humid to very humid as we go through the rest of the week into the holiday weekend, and then a sharp downturn. We're going to see a series of cold fronts next week that will cool us off and also drop the humidity as well. But right now, it's already beginning to warm up. 70 in Georgetown, Milton 71, Bethany Beach 74, and Rehoboth right now, you're at 74 degrees, and a light southwesterly wind just bringing in more of that warmth and humidity throughout the day. A little bit of cloudiness moving through, maybe a little hazy, maybe a little bit of fog, nothing like we saw yesterday. A few more clouds off to the north and west. We have a series of troughs moving through. That will kick off the clouds, maybe a shower this afternoon, but there's a stronger front developing across the Midwest, and that will slide through tonight, increasing our chances for some storms as we go through the overnight hours. As far as Futurecast, let's pick it up at 8 a.m. already warming into the low 80s for some of us, and then into the 80s as we go late morning, and by noon already into the low 90s. By 3 o'clock, mid-90s from Seaford to Millsboro and Milton, 80s along the beaches. Some places might be staying in the 70s, but even Dewey Beach around 80 degrees, but really hot inland areas this evening. Take it slow. Then that front comes through. I think we could see the heaviest activity off to our north as we go through the overnight near Ellendale and points north. Heavy rain, maybe some small hail, maybe some damaging winds, and some of that activity could move back into Sussex County as we go through the overnight. And then it's cooler tomorrow with an easterly flow. Look at this, highs in the 70s and only lower 80s, so about 15 degrees cooler tomorrow with an easterly wind. That will feel good for sure. There is that threat for severe weather. It's a level 1 and a level 2 risk. The farther north you go, I think a better chance of seeing some of that hail and gusty wind action. Otherwise, it's a little unsettled. Friday, Saturday, even Sunday, we're looking at some hit and miss showers. So won't be raining all the time, but still some lingering showers Sunday. And then it starts to dry out on Labor Day. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. After today's heat, it drops into the low 80s Thursday and Friday with hit and miss storms. And then mid 80s Saturday and Sunday. Labor Day, it does dry out, 82. The humidity drops, and only 77 on Tuesday, and sun and clouds.
Thank you, Bob. Slowing down in Ocean City, the police department there has moved one of their speed boards to a new location. The sign will now sit at 65th Street after police say they noticed an increase in speeding in that area. For the past few years, it was at 142nd Street. Now, get this, folks. Police say officers will still be there, too, keeping an eye on speeding.
All right, it's now 6:51. Let's check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a creature who usually is not on Earth. Ralphie, the Ewok, is there on your screen. Delmarva must be a big change from where he is used to be. This character is straight out of Star Wars. It was submitted to us by Kathy in Georgetown.
Okay, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
What's Chewbacca? What kind of creature is he?
He's a Wookiee.
Doesn't he? I think he looks a little bit more like a Wookiee. Don't you?
Ewok.
Maybe a mix.
Maybe a mixed Wookiee Ewok?
A mix, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, I want to get Jonathan on this.
Yeah, well, that's the Star Wars experts. But don't forget, we want to see all your pets on Delmarva. Keep sending us photos just like that. Tell us what makes your pet so special.
You got that QR code. If you scan that, you can get your furry friend to us here and then watch weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
You know, I think Ralphie does look more like Chewbacca than he does an Ewok. He has that hairy look for sure. He is a dog after all. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camp, a little hazy out there, and it's going to be a warm day. And then after today's heat, it cools down, and then some rain at times this holiday weekend. Not all the time. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
Celebrate Labor Day weekend with Camp Rehoboth Community Center at Sun Festival 2024 in Rehoboth Beach. On August 31st, enjoy a night of comedy with stand-up comedian Joe Dombrowski.
He looked at me and he goes, ma'am, okay, that laugh was a hate crime.
Then on September 1st, dance the night away with DJs Robbie Leslie and Joe Gothrow. Don't miss the summer's biggest party at the Rehoboth Beach Convention Center. Get your tickets at camprehoboth.org. Sponsored by CoastTV.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy.
To learn more, visit nationalguard.com/DC.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
It is 6:55. It's time for some things you need to know before you go. Still a few weeks left of summer, the season going out scorching hot. Temperatures reaching record highs in several U.S. cities this week. Tens of millions are under some sort of heat advisory. Some people, they're trying to get outside earlier or maybe take into the pools to avoid the oppressive heat.
Happening in a meeting tonight, we do hope to get some clarity on the situation with Big Oyster Brewery in Lewis and the dispute over their ability to play live music. It was earlier this month, Big Oyster announced it was canceling live music acts when the management there learned a complaint was submitted to the Delaware Alcoholic Beverage Control Commissioner. It was about music being loud enough to be heard and distracting in neighboring housing developments.
A second dune breach at Northside Beach near the Indian River Inlet has one group now demanding action. Delaware chapter of Surfrider Foundation urging DelDOT, DenRec, and Delaware Seashore State Park to have a public meeting this month citing the dangerous conditions in the area. Surfrider says the efforts to protect Route 1 with large rocks backfired. It made the situation worse and put public safety and tourism at risk. The group is asking the public meeting to be held near the Indian River Inlet as well as virtually.
Planning for a new Georgetown police building has been put on hold until October. Monday night, the Georgetown Council had a public hearing to discuss plans for a new police department that's proposed to sit on University Drive. This topic will be brought up again at the first Town Council meeting in October.
All right, it's 6:56. Time now for a quick look at your forecast before you head out that door.
Yeah, we got one final check with Bob. He's tracking a very hot day today.
Yeah, but you know, it's one day, and this probably is the last day of 90s for a long time. Maybe months, I don't know. But it's going to be a hot one for sure, so prepare for that. Air quality not so great either, so temperatures quickly rising to the 80s into the mid-90s. 80s at the beaches, but look at these feels-like temperatures, around 100 to maybe 104 inland areas, and 90s at the beaches. Air quality not that great either. If you have the respiratory problems, stay inside. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. After today's heat, it's 81 on Thursday. A few storms and showers Friday, only 80, and then it does warm up for the weekend into the mid to upper 80s with hit and miss showers and storms. I want to stress the holiday weekend will not be a washout. Labor Day, in fact, it's drier, 82, and then a sustained cool down after that with temperatures in the 70s, temperatures in the 50s beginning on Tuesday.
All right, Bob, thank you, and thank you all for joining us on Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming on next at 7 a.m.
We'll be back with Coast TV Midday. That's at 11. Stick with us.
Yeah, have a great Wednesday, everybody.